In the dim glow of his bedroom lamp, Nico stared at the ceiling, heart pounding as he clutched the phone where he just typed his first confession, "I'm gay." But before he could hit send to his best friend, the door burst open. His father's voice thundering about real men, and the latest family argument echoing from downstairs. A stark reminder that in this house, truth like his could shatter everything. Little did he know, this night would unravel the fragile threads holding his split life together. Nico Thompson had always been a chameleon, adapting to the colors of whichever home he found himself in that week. At 16, when his parents divorced, the custody agreement carved his life into neat halves. Mondays through Wednesdays with Mom in their cozy suburban house in suburban Chicago, where routines were as predictable as the morning coffee, and Thursdays through Sundays with Dad in the bustling apartment downtown, where chaos reigned like an uninvited guest. It wasn't just the addresses that changed. It was him. With Mom, he was the dutiful son, helping with chores, attending church on Sundays, and burying any flicker of difference under layers of polite smiles. With Dad, he morphed into the tough kid, joining pickup basketball games and laughing off crude jokes that made his stomach twist. But neither version felt real. Both were masks forged in the fire of survival, hiding the boy who dreamed of holding another boy's hand without fear. School was his neutral ground, a place where he could breathe a little easier. At Lincoln High, Nico blended into the crowd, excelling in debate club where he argued points with a passion that surprised even him. That's where he met Jamie Reyes, the new transfer student from California, with his easy smile and stories of ocean waves that made Chicago's winters feel bearable. Jamie was openly gay, wearing it like a badge of honor, not defiance, something Nico envied deeply. Their first conversation happened in the library, over a shared history project on civil rights movements. "You ever think about how some fights are personal?" Jamie asked, his eyes locking onto Nico's with an intensity that sent a shiver down his spine. Nico nodded, words caught in his throat, feeling seen for the first time. As weeks turned into months, their friendship deepened. Study sessions turned into late-night texts, sharing playlists and secrets. Nico found himself opening up about the divorce, the back-and-forth life, but he stopped short of his biggest truth. Jamie shared freely about coming out to his supportive parents, the bullies he'd faced, and the quiet pride he carried. "It's not always easy," Jamie admitted one afternoon in the park, as they tossed a frisbee under the spring sun. "But hiding? That's worse." Nico's heart ached with agreement, but fear clamped down hard. What if Jamie rejected him? Worse, what if word got back to his parents? The conflict brewed slowly, like a storm on the horizon. At Mom's house, conversations often veered into her conservative views, shaped by her church community. "Family is everything, Nico," she'd say over dinner, her voice soft but firm. "We stick to what's right." He knew right didn't include him loving another boy. Dad's place was no better. Macho bravado filled the air, with his father's friends dropping slurs like casual greetings. "Don't be soft, son," Dad would grunt during their weekend hikes. Nico nodded, swallowing the bile, but inside, resentment festered. He began skipping church with Mom, claiming headaches, and avoiding Dad's outings with excuses of homework. The lies piled up, each one a brick in the wall separating his worlds. One evening, after a particularly heated argument at Dad's about his distracted behavior, Nico stormed out and ended up at Jamie's doorstep. Rain poured down, mirroring the turmoil inside him. Jamie let him in without question, wrapping him in a towel and listening as Nico vented about the divorce's lingering scars. "I feel like I'm two people," Nico confessed, voice breaking. Jamie reached out, his hand on Nico's shoulder, a touch that lingered. In that moment, Nico leaned in, their lips meeting in a kiss that felt like coming home. It was tentative, sweet, and terrifying. Pulling back, Nico whispered, "I've wanted to do that for so long." Jamie smiled. "Me too." But joy was short-lived. The next day at school, rumors swirled. Someone had seen them in the park, holding hands briefly. Whispers turned to stares, and Nico panicked. He distanced himself from Jamie, ignoring texts and avoiding hallways. What's going on? Jamie confronted him in the empty gym after school. Nico's eyes darted. It's complicated. My family, they wouldn't understand. Jamie's face fell, hurt etching lines where smiles used to be. So you're choosing to hide? From me? From yourself. The words stung, forcing Nico to confront the choice. Authenticity or safety. Tensions escalated when Mom found a text from Jamie on Nico's phone. Innocuous but affectionate. Who's this boy? She asked, her tone laced with suspicion. Nico stammered. Just a friend. But she pressed. And in a moment of desperation, he lied, saying Jamie was helping with a project. Guilt gnawed at him, especially as Dad's side grew more volatile. During a family dinner with Dad's new girlfriend, politics came up, gay rights of all topics. Dad scoffed. It's a phase, nothing more. Nico's fists clenched under the table, his silence screaming. The breaking point came at a school event, a debate on LGBTQ+ rights. Nico was assigned to argue in favor, a twist of fate. As he spoke, passion overtook fear. Everyone deserves to love without hiding. Jamie watched from the audience, hope flickering. But afterward, a classmate outed him to his parents via a group chat. Chaos ensued. Mom called, voice trembling. Is this true, Nico? We can get help. Dad texted, come home now. We need to talk. Torn, Nico chose to run to Jamie's house, where he poured out everything. I can't keep splitting myself, he said, tears streaming. Jamie held him. You don't have to, but you have to choose you. That night, Nico decided to come out, starting with a letter to both parents, explaining his truth and the pain of duality. The letters were sent via email, simple yet profound. To Mom, I've been living half a life because I feared losing your love, but I'm gay, and that's part of me. To Dad, your world taught me to be tough, but toughness isn't hiding who I am. I'm gay, and I need you to see me. The responses came swiftly, shattering the fragile peace Nico had clung to. Mom arrived first, knocking on Jamie's door where Nico had sought refuge. Her face was a mask of concern and confusion. Nico, honey, come home. We can talk this through. But as they sat in Jamie's living room, Jamie discreetly giving them space, her words revealed deeper rifts. The church says it's a sin. I don't want you to suffer. Nico's heart sank. Suffer? Mom, hiding is suffering. She cried, hugging him tightly, but her plea to pray it away felt like a rejection wrapped in love. I can't change who I am, he insisted, voice steady despite the tremor inside. Dad's reaction was explosive. He showed up unannounced, banging on the door until Jamie's parents intervened. This is nonsense, Dad bellowed in the driveway. You're confused because of the divorce. It's my fault, her fault. Anyone but this. Nico stood his ground. No, Dad, this is me. The argument spilled into the street, neighbors peeking through curtains. Dad's face reddened. You think you can just announce this and everything's fine? What about family? What about me? Nico replied. Family should accept me, not change me. Dad stormed off, leaving a void that echoed louder than words. School became a battleground. Supportive friends rallied around Nico and Jamie, but bullies emerged, slinging slurs in hallways. One day, a group cornered Nico in the locker room. Freak, they sneered. Jamie stepped in. Back off. A scuffle ensued, punches thrown, landing both in the principal's office. This isn't just about you two, the principal said, suspending the aggressors but warning Nico and Jamie about provoking issues. Nico fumed. Provoking? By existing. The incident made local news, a small blurb about teen tensions over identity, sparking debates in the community. Amid the chaos, Nico's dual lives collided further. Mom insisted on therapy, not affirming but conversion style, recommended by her pastor. It's for your own good, she said during a tense lunch. Nico refused. That's not help. That's erasure. Dad, meanwhile, cut off contact for weeks, only relaying messages through his lawyer about custody changes. He thinks you're influenced by that boy, the lawyer confided. Nico's anger boiled. Influenced? Jamie showed me it's okay to be me. Jamie became his anchor, their relationship blossoming in stolen moments. Walks in the park turned into deep conversations about dreams. Nico wanting to study psychology, Jamie aiming for art school. We'll get through this, Jamie promised one evening as they watched the sunset. But doubts crept in. What if my parents never accept? Nico whispered. Jamie squeezed his hand. Then we build our own family. Social conflicts amplified. At a family gathering on Mom's side, whispers followed Nico. An uncle pulled him aside. Don't bring shame to the family. Nico retorted. Shame? Loving someone isn't shameful. The evening ended in awkward silence. Mom defending him weakly but ultimately siding with tradition. Dad's world was harsher. His friends mocked the news, one even suggesting tough love camps. Dad wavered, calling once, I don't get it, but I love you. It was a crack in the armor, but not enough. Nico sought solace in an LGBTQ plus youth group, recommended by a school counselor. There, he met others with similar stories, divided families, hidden selves. You're not alone, a mentor said. Inspired, Nico organized a school awareness event, inviting speakers on acceptance. Jamie helped, their bond strengthening. But backlash came. Parents complained, calling it indoctrination. A petition circulated, forcing the school board to debate. The high point of tension arrived at the board meeting. Nico spoke, voice clear. Hiding my identity tore me apart. Acceptance saves lives. Jamie stood beside him, sharing his story. Mom attended, sitting silently in the back, tears in her eyes. Dad didn't show. The board approved the event, a small victory, but it highlighted the divide. Afterward, Mom approached. I'm trying, Nico. It's hard. He hugged her. That's all I ask. Yet, the strain on his relationship with Jamie grew. Constant fights with family left Nico drained, snapping at Jamie over small things. I feel like I'm pulling you into my mess, Nico admitted one night. Jamie replied, I'm here because I love you. The word love hung in the air, a beacon amid darkness. As summer approached, custody hearings loomed. Nico's lawyer argued for his input, citing emotional well-being. In court, he testified, living split lives made me hide. I need stability to be myself. The judge listened, but parents' testimonies revealed their struggles. Mom's fear of losing him to sin, Dad's denial rooted in his own upbringing. The courtroom felt like a pressure cooker, with Nico sandwiched between his parents' lawyers. Mom testified first, her voice quivering. I love my son, but I believe this is a phase influenced by the instability of our divorce. He needs guidance. Nico's chest tightened. Her words, meant as care, sliced like knives. Dad followed, gruff but earnest. I raised him to be strong. This choice, it's not him. Blame the split home. The judge, a stern woman with kind eyes, noted, strength isn't denying one's identity. Nico's turn came, and he spoke from the heart. The divorce forced me into two roles, neither allowing me to be gay. I can't heal if I'm still pretending. The hearing ended without immediate ruling, leaving everyone in limbo. Post-court, Nico crashed at Jamie's, exhaustion overwhelming him. What if they force me to choose one home? He worried. Jamie held him close. We'll fight it together. Their intimacy deepened emotionally, sharing vulnerabilities. Jamie's past rejection by extended family, Nico's fear of abandonment. But external pressures mounted. Social media buzzed with opinions on the local news story, some supportive, others vicious. Anonymous messages flooded Nico's inbox. Fag. Disgrace. He deleted them, but the words lingered. Community divides sharpened. At church with Mom, the pastor preached on traditional families. Eyes flicking to Nico, congregants offered prayers that felt like judgments. Nico walked out mid-sermon, Mom following. Why can't you try? She pleaded in the parking lot. Because it's killing me, he replied. The argument escalated, ending with her saying, maybe you shouldn't come home until you think about it. Heartbroken, Nico stayed with Jamie longer. Dad reached out unexpectedly, inviting Nico to a baseball game, a neutral ground. No lectures, Dad promised. They sat in the stands, hot dogs in hand. Midway, Dad sighed. I don't understand, but I miss my son. Nico opened up. I miss you too, but I need acceptance. Dad nodded slowly. Give me time. It was progress, fragile but real. School wrapped up with the awareness event, a success despite protests. Speakers shared stories, inspiring attendees. Jamie and Nico held hands publicly for the first time, a defiant act of love. But a heckler shouted, "This is wrong." Security escorted him out, but the incident sparked online debates. Should schools promote alternative lifestyles? Nico engaged, posting thoughtfully, "It's about equality, not promotion." Summer brought temporary relief. Nico split time unevenly, favoring Jamie's supportive home. They explored Chicago museums, lakeside picnics, building memories. This is what freedom feels like, Nico said during a ferry ride. Jamie grinned. And love. Yet, undercurrents of conflict persisted. Mom called weekly, mixing concern with subtle disapproval. Have you thought about counseling? She'd ask. Nico redirected. Have you? A family therapy session mandated by the court became a powder keg. The therapist probed, how has the divorce affected Nico's identity? Mom admitted guilt. I wanted stability, but maybe I pushed too hard. Dad confessed. I feared he'd be weak like me. Nico shared. You both made me hide. Tears flowed, breakthroughs glimpsed. But when sexuality arose, walls rebuilt. Mom cited faith. It's against my beliefs. Dad grumbled. It's unnatural. The session ended tensely, with homework to reflect. Nico's internal struggle intensified. Nightmares plagued him, being disowned, losing Jamie. Am I worth the fight? He asked Jamie one sleepless night. Jamie affirmed, absolutely. Their bond tested further when Jamie's parents hosted a barbecue, inviting Nico's folks. Mom attended hesitantly, Dad declined. Interactions were polite but strained. Mom watched Nico and Jamie interact, her expression softening slightly. He seems happy, she later told Nico privately. But is this right? Nico challenged. Does my happiness matter? Societal clashes peaked at a pride parade Nico and Jamie attended. Colors swirled. Chants of unity filled the air. Nico felt empowered, but spotting counter-protesters with signs like, protect families, triggered anxiety. One yelled at them, you're destroying society. Jamie pulled Nico away, but the words echoed. Later, discussing it, Nico pondered, are we really a threat? Jamie replied, only to ignorance. As the judge's decision neared, Nico prepared for outcomes. If joint custody continued, could he endure the duality? If one parent won, would acceptance follow? He journaled thoughts, clarifying choices, authenticity over appeasement. The ruling came via email, modified custody, with Nico choosing primary residence but mandatory visits. The judge noted, Nico's well-being includes identity affirmation. Mom reacted with sorrow, Dad with resignation. Nico chose Mom's, hoping to bridge gaps, but with conditions. No conversion therapy, open dialogue. Rebuilding began slowly. Mom joined a parent support group for LGBTQ+ kids, tentative steps toward understanding. Dad sent texts, saw a game, thought of you. Small gestures, big impacts. Yet not all resolved smoothly. A family dinner at Dad's turned contentious when his girlfriend questioned, isn't it a choice? Nico educated calmly, no, it's who I am. Debate ensued, ending in uneasy truce. Through it all, Jamie remained steadfast, their love a constant amid change. With the custody dust settling, Nico focused on healing fractures. Living primarily with Mom allowed consistency, but visits to Dad tested resolve. First post-ruling weekend at Dad's felt awkward, silence heavy as they watched TV. Dad broke it. Tell me about this Jamie kid. Nico shared cautiously. He's kind, artistic. Dad grunted. As long as he treats you right. It wasn't full acceptance, but a start. Mom's evolution was more visible. Attending her support group, she returned with questions. What does being gay mean to you? Nico explained. It's loving without limits. She nodded. I'm learning. Church remained a sore point. She invited him, but he declined. Until they accept me. She went alone, returning thoughtful. School resumed in fall, senior year buzzing with college apps. Nico and Jamie dreamed of attending the same university, perhaps in a more progressive city. New York, Jamie suggested. Nico smiled. Anywhere with you. But applications brought stress. Essays on personal growth, where Nico wrote about his journey. From divided selves to unified truth, community tensions lingered. A local election featured candidates debating LGBTQ+ rights, polarizing the town. Nico volunteered for a pro-equality campaign, door-knocking with Jamie. Encounters varied. Supportive nods, slammed doors. One homeowner argued, it undermines family values. Nico countered, inclusion strengthens them. Debates fueled growth, sharpening his advocacy. Family dynamics shifted incrementally. A joint birthday dinner, Nico's 18th, marked a milestone. Mom and Dad in the same room, civil for his sake. Toasts raised. Moms to growth. Dads to strength. Jamie attended. Introduced as my boyfriend. Mom smiled warmly. Dad shook his hand firmly. No fireworks, just quiet progress. But setbacks came. Dad's old friends visited. Their homophobic banter slipping out. Dad shut it down. Not in my house. Nico overheard, pride swelling. Mom faced church backlash, some members distancing. It's their loss, she told Nico, hugging him. Her faith evolved, focusing on love over doctrine. Nico's relationship with Jamie faced its own trials. Distance during Dad's weekends sparked jealousy, irrational fears of drifting. You're my rock, Nico reassured during a video call. Jamie admitted, I worry you'll regress. Honest talks fortified them. A major conflict arose when Nico's extended family learned. Grandma on Mom's side called, this is a mistake. Nico visited, explaining patiently. She listened, sharing her era's constraints. Times were different. By visit's end, she hugged him. I love you, period. Dad's side was tougher. An Uncle Dis invited him from a reunion. Don't want controversy. Dad intervened. Then we're out. Solidarity surprised Nico, mending father-son bonds. As college acceptances rolled in, choices loomed. Nico got into NYU, Jamie too. Excitement mixed with dread. Leaving family. We'll visit, Jamie promised. Mom teared up. Proud of you. Dad helped pack. Call anytime. The move to New York amplified freedoms. Dorm life, diverse friends, Nico thrived. But holidays tested. Thanksgiving at Mom's. Inclusive with Jamie welcomed. Christmas at Dad's. Warmer, stories shared. Yet old wounds surfaced. A phone argument with Mom over a news story on gay marriage. Still against it? Nico asked. She hesitated. I'm evolving. Patience wore thin, but love persisted. Jamie's family provided contrast. Full acceptance. Holidays filled with joy. Nico envied, but it motivated advocacy. He joined campus groups, speaking on panels about family reconciliation post-coming out. A pivotal moment. Dad visited campus, meeting Jamie properly. Over dinner, Dad asked questions. How did you know? Jamie shared. Dad listened. I get it more now, Dad admitted. Nico's eyes welled. Thanks, Dad. Mom followed suit, attending a pride event in the city. Overwhelmed but present. She said, seeing your world helps. Steps forward, no leaps. Relationships deepened. Nico and Jamie navigated young love. Disagreements on futures, but commitment strong. Forever, Nico asked one night in their shared apartment. Jamie smiled. Starting now. Back home, societal debates raged. Laws on rights fluctuating. Nico followed, voting, protesting. His story inspired a blog post, anonymized but impactful. As years passed, wait, no, the story arcs within months, but Reflections Project. In present, Nico reflects on growth. Graduation approached, a culmination of trials. Nico's speech at the ceremony touched on resilience. We build ourselves from fractures. Family attended: mom, dad, Jamie, united in applause. Postgrad, jobs beckoned. Nico interned at a nonprofit for LGBTQ plus youth, channeling experiences. Jamie pursued graphic design, their New York life vibrant. But family ties pulled. A crisis hit, mom's health scare, a minor heart issue. Nico rushed home, Jamie by his side. In the hospital, mom whispered, "I'm glad you're here with him." Acceptance bloomed in vulnerability. Dad's transformation completed during a fishing trip. Just them. "I was wrong," Dad confessed. "Fear made me blind." Nico forgave. We all grow. The story's climax wasn't dramatic. It was the quiet accrual of understanding. Conflicts resolved not perfectly, but authentically. Society's prejudices challenged, one conversation at a time. Nico's life, once split, integrated. Two homes became one chosen family, personalities unified in truth. Is it true that divided families can only heal by forcing conformity? Or does real mending come from embracing differences?